Could you please explain the entry? Yeah, so the entry is essentially me buying pullbacks. I don't want to buy high looking for higher because we've already gone very aggressively up and we're already beginning to see pullbacks. The big wick on the last bull bar is an example. So knowing that pullbacks are a little bit more dominant, I have more of a reason to buy a pullback rather than buy the close. If you did buy the close, it looks like it would have gone exactly 4 ticks. So those buyers may not have been filled. But whenever we're in a situation like that, I would always rather err on the side of caution, knowing that sellers might still be stuck. I think smart sellers got out, but sellers may still be stuck, which means that we may be looking for a deeper pullback at some point. Knowing that sellers will still enter and try to push the market back until we get back to the high of day and start filling some of these objectives, I'd rather buy on 1 point offset, something like that. I could buy at 15. I would rather buy at 14 and see it come back to 15. It's an easier move. I do run the risk of not getting filled by trading it that way. So, I mean, nothing ever comes without risk. I might miss the move. $14 testing. No fill. Still no fill. Filled. So long at 14, looking for 15. Now, it didn't fill my target, but you see how much easier that was for the market to move back up? I didn't get filled, but it did test it. I mean, it was just like that. That's why I would rather buy on the pullback. Now, it'd be nice if they actually filled me to further prove my point, but I mean, it did move almost immediately 4 ticks back up for the scalp. That's why I'd rather buy in the pullback. Now, if it does go further, I'll buy more at 13. Knowing that I have upward objectives, I don't necessarily have to exit everything at 14 or anything like that. I can look for wider targets now. You have more orders at 13, though. What is your thinking? We still have upward objectives. Buyers still have upward targets at 17 at the minimum, 18 quarter next. Above that, the gap fill all the way up at 21.5. I have an open door. So, I mean, if they fill me at 14 and then immediately take me out for a scalp, that's fine. But if they fill more, then I'll look to take the scalp off at 15 and try to run the last one to see if I can get, 2, 3, 4 points out of it. Buyers have the open door right now, so I would much rather look to use that to my advantage. $15 testing again. Thank you. Good Lord. So you see how much, I don't like using the word easy when it comes to the markets, but you see how much easier that move was buying the pullback? See what I mean? It's just understanding the context that the market is giving you, right? Any buy inside here is totally fine. It doesn't matter if you slap the market and you bought the highs. It's still perfectly acceptable. But, right, noticing the context of what the market is giving us with slightly larger pullbacks and that kind of thing, it makes more sense to, instead buying the close here, I would rather buy a 1 point pullback, buy a 2 point pullback, etc. Just makes more sense.